All right, guys, let's get some NBA picks and props for Friday, May 24th slate of games. Trey, let's take a look at that leaderboard. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I had a one-on-one day on the game picks. I gave out the Pacers plus 9.5 versus Celtics, and the Pacers to score over their 107.5 team total as well. Pacers lost by 16, lost that, but they scored 110, so we hit the team total at the very least.
Yeah, I had a 1-0 day here. Celtics over 117.5 team total. They scored 123, I believe it was. So pretty no sweat bet there. Got a little dicey late, but we only needed like 25 points in the fourth quarter. They cashed it for us there. 1-0 day. Trey, let's go to the props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I went 1-0 here. That's because I gave out Andrew Nembhard to go over 15.5 PAs versus Celtics. Nembhard, he finished with 21 PAs. Nembhard got me Nembhard again.
Yeah, and one of the most disrespectful lines of the day, Drew Holiday over 4.5 assists. He had 6.5, about as no sweat as you can get there. He had another great game when Jason Tatum struggled. Also, Trey, I don't know if you watched the game. Tatum today sucked.
Yeah, one thing will always remain the same, my friend. One thing will always remain the same.
And it's bad because he got like 10 points in the last 4 minutes in garbage time. So he put up like
exactly what happened in game 1 too. And in overtime, he was amazing, but I think he went 2 for 8 in the fourth quarter of game 1.
He put up like 23, 6 and 5, but he had like 13, 4 and 4 with 5 minutes left in the game. Crazy how Tatum is still being playing that poorly, but maybe he'll play better in the finals when they get there. All right, let's go to the Minnesota and the Mavericks game. Not a very happy camper from game 1. I'm going to change my tune drastically in this game, but I'm going to have Trey start us off.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game to watch, and just like game 1 was, and me and Barry, we disagree on how game 1 will impact this series, and that's totally fine. It's America. People are fine, and it's okay to disagree. But I'm going to go with the Minnesota Timberwolves here, minus 5.5 in this game. I love that we're getting it at 5.5, because in my opinion, we're going to see the T-Wolves just come out and dominate here and just get out all their frustration. They've been kind of an up and down home team throughout this postseason. They've been really good on the road. We all saw what happened last round whenever they had to go to Denver. So I'm not too worried whenever this series does go back to Dallas, but I do expect it whenever it does go back to Dallas, it'll be tied 1-1. In game 1, the Timberwolves, they crumbled in the fourth quarter, and that allowed the Mavericks to pull it out at the end. And I believe that we're going to see Ant-Man and Cat have themselves a day here. They took game 1 off. Don't know if it was on purpose, but I think that as long as they combine for 50-plus points here in this game, we're going to fly over the cover. We only need 25 points from each person, or a 30 burger from Ant-Man and a 20 burger from Karl-Anthony Towns. Either way, we just need to get them to that 50-point number, because whenever we compare these two benches, it's just a laughable difference, to be honest with you. I expect the T-Wolves just to flex their muscles in this game and to flip it over to the defensive side. Look for Minnesota to stop doing their damn drop coverage. They were getting killed by Luka in the pick and roll in game 1. It was a Luka pick and roll, and Rudy Gobert would flash and then drop right below the rim, and Luka would just do a floater or a layup or anything to score. Gobert, you cannot be worried about protecting the rim. You don't have to worry about the lob threats of Aaron Gordon in this series. Yes, the Mavericks, they do have some high flyers, but you need to get a body on Luka, and I do expect that to happen in this game. And lastly, the Timberwolves, they shot 61% from the free throw line at home in game 1. That's going to be significantly higher in this game, and they cannot miss out on those freebies. So I'm going to take the home team here to get one back. Give me the Timberwolves minus 5.5 against the Mavericks.
Yep, understand everything you said. I'm going to take Dallas on the money line because my eyes, I don't think they lied to me in game number 1. I watched the Dallas Mavericks struggle the entire game from deep. Kyrie Irving carried them in the first half. Luka did his thing in the second half. Somehow, some way, this team on the road, they found a way to win game number 1. They played some pretty bad basketball as well. They shot 20% from the outside, but they took the game by playing more physical defense and dominating. And I mean dominating the inside against Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. I've had enough Trey of Towns already in this series. I've had enough of him. He had a decent game in game number 1, but every single time he makes a shot, he has to make some face. He has to do some sort of celebration like he just won on a buzzer beater in game number 7 on the title. He's not that good of a player, and he needs to stop acting like the only time he played with some physicality in game number 1 was in the last 4 minutes whenever Edwards was either injured or he was too tired to contribute anything to the team. And I don't know if Anthony Edwards is going to be guarding Kyrie Irving in this game, because obviously he can't guard and put up his normal 30 points per game that we've seen him do in the playoffs this season. Clearly, he had some fatigue down the stretch of the game in game number 1. And the Mavericks, they were nearly plus 30 in the paint going up against a team who should be dominant down low. I think the Dallas Mavericks just won it more, and it showed in game number 1. So I'm going to change everything that I said. I'm going to go exactly what I said off of my recap of the game one yesterday. The Timberwolves, They should come out. They should play with a little bit more urgency, but I just think the Dallas Mavericks won it more. Dallas played their seed game in game number 1. They shot 20% from behind the arc, and they still won the game. I'm going to take them here to win the game. They're not going to shoot 20% from deep again. I'm taking them here on the money line as the play. Trey, let's go to the player props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go with Rudy Gobert here. Even though I did just say he needs to get his head out of his butt on the defensive end, I do expect him to get it out on the defensive end and then put it in on the offensive end. I love this over for Gobert in this one because we're going to see him dominate here. Gobert, he played against the Mavericks in 7 games since he was acquired by the Timberwolves. And in those 7 games, Gobert, he's averaged 15.1 points and 11.7 rebounds per game, which does come out to 26.8 PRs, which is over this number. And I believe that we're going to see Gobert hit that average again in this game. Even though Gobert has only averaged 22.7 PRs throughout this postseason, I expect him to play a big role in the painted area in this one. In game 1, the Mavericks, they were living in the painted area, and I expect Gobert to just up his game there and try to be that defensive force, and that's going to translate into the offensive end as well. He's just going to grab 15-plus rebounds and finish with a double-double. That's going to allow us to smash the over. There was many times in game 1, Gobert was running the floor, wide open in the painted area, arms above his head trying to call for the ball, and they just weren't looking his way. I expect them to look his way this game. Give me Rudy Gobert to go over 24.5 PRs versus the Mavericks.
Yeah, again, I know exactly why you're doing the play. I thought the same thing in game number 1. Maybe this time it'll work out for Rudy Gobert. But last time I took it, I got screwed. I hope you don't get screwed there here, Trey, though. I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving over 22.5 points going up against the T-Wolves. It was a struggle for Dallas in the first half. They couldn't find anything on the offensive side because none of their shots were falling, especially from deep. You can give some credit to the Timberwolves defense. They were a lot better in the first half than they were in the second half in game number 1. Kyrie Irving, though, in the first half, he had himself 23 points, which is the over points if he does that again in this game because we only need 22.5. He did most of his damage on getting himself to the rim and getting himself to the free throw line. And at the end of the half, he had a spectacular play at an and 1 to cut the lead to 3, and that was really important. It was a difference maker because the Timberwolves had just made a three-point shot on the other side. It looks like they were going to go up by a couple possessions, and Kyrie Irving just had an answer for everything in the first half going up against the Timberwolves. He finished the game with 30 points because Luka did his thing in the second half. We should see more of the same here out of Kyrie Irving in this game, as he's been a lot more aggressive getting himself to the rim and getting himself to the free throw line. He also scored 30 points without making a 3 in game number 1, which I thought was very impressive. I'm going to take him here. I think he's playing with a lot of confidence. Give me the over 22.5 points. I think he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Everybody's talking about Anthony Edwards. Not a lot of people talking about Kyrie Irving. I like Irving in this game over 22.5 points. Trey, let's go to the graphic. Have you start us off.
Yeah, guys, I went with the Timberwolves here, minus 5.5 against the Mavericks. They got to get one back here. They don't want to go down. They cannot go down 2-0 against the Mavericks going back to Dallas. Also going through to Gobert over 24.5 PRs versus the Mavericks. I feel like he's going to be a driving force in the Timberwolves cover in this game. He's going to have himself a double-double.
I'm going with the Mavs money line. Everything I watched in game 1 was the Mavericks not playing well, and they still found a way to win. Maybe the T-Wolves will come out more energetic. I kind of hope so because I'd love a 7-game series here, but I think Dallas is going to take it. And then give me Kyrie Irving, over 22.5 points. He was spectacular in the first half. Really didn't need him in the second half because Luka was making everything. But this guy can drop 30 points on any given night. So I love the over 22.5 points here as the play. Guys, that's going to do it for the NBA Plays and Props for Friday, May 24th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Super Bowl. We also have 12,000 subs coming right around the bend. We're at 10,200. We're going to give away 2 tickets to anybody to any game they want. NBA, NFL, college basketball. It doesn't matter. We can wait until the new season for NFL. Any game you want to go, whenever we get to 12K, we're going to have that giveaway coming up as well. Leaderboard. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's 2 options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube. And it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,